Hi, my name is Keith and I am a minimalist collector. I have had a decluttering project that has sat for a while without doing it, and I want to do a real-time decluttering to show just how short a time I expect that this is going to be to deal with something that has actually been on the list of to-do for months. This is the cabinet that we keep the Tupperware and such in. So Tupperware meaning the brand name, so it's actually reusable plastic containers. I didn't stage this in advance. This is what was in the just came out of the dishwasher. So we carry a lot of our lunches. I know we could look for a non-plastics version of this, and if you've got a recommendation that way of ones that will last as long as plastic but are a bit more sustainable, then I would love some advice on that. I don't often look for advice on what to buy, but we'll call that even on making better choices. So this is got several different kinds. This is the one we most use for lunches. It holds 2 cups, so it's a good lunch size. But I think that there's probably about 5 different versions of containers in here, and that's one of the problems we're having, is we have a lot of containers that don't match. So this is the chaos of this bin. The big problem with this shelf is that it's underneath our counter, so it actually is really, really deep. That's the back wall, reaching my arm straight out. It's almost shoulder length, so 2.5 feet, I guess that is, a little over 2 feet. And things just keep getting shoved back, and we only use the first 4 inches of this. If I had it, or if I had thought of it at the dollar store today, what would be great in here is a divider, actually about 6 inches back, 6 or 8 inches, that actually just blocks off the rest of the space from being used. You could do that with a box. There's a couple of, you could kind of cobble together something to do the same without spending any money. So that's probably what I should do, is build something out of cardboard or get a piece of wood, something that reduces the depth of this shelf, because it becomes a junk holder. So I'm gonna quickly sort the like with like containers. As I said, one of the problems is that, are these just in frame? Perfect. The problem is I've got a bunch of different kinds of these containers, and they do accumulate. They don't stack easily if they don't match, which is a problem. And sometimes you need different sizes for different tasks. These go with these. That is the start of having all of the containers out. Some of them are getting tossed. Now, containers that are solo, those are gonna go. So plastics, always recycle, if possible, and if that exists in your neighborhood. And again, I've got weird containers, weird sizes. We have a ton of these. I don't even know if you can, I don't even think most places even take them for donation, because if you are in the business of making giveaway items, don't make tumblers. They are so common, they just accumulate. The cheap ones you never end up using. This is a very light material. This has never been used. I'm going to try to donate it. They can recycle it or throw it out if that's needs be. Now I'm just curious how many of these containers we have. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there's 9 or 10. 9 or 10, and we never use any of these. We have a couple of really fun reusable water containers. I have a Starbucks mug I have used for closing on 7 or 8 years at least. None of this stuff is being used. So I'm going to toss all of this stuff. And I'll give Wifey the chance to make a second run through it in case I'm out to lunch and we actually do use any of those. But I don't think we ever have. She used to take some to work, but I think I've got them at work as well. I don't even know what that is. This was a fun idea. This was, it's a just dollar store. It's got a sealable cap. We used it for maple syrup, and it just makes a huge mess. So it was a great idea that just makes a giant mess. Recyclable. Who knows? This is a lunch container. I think Wifey uses that. I'm going to put it aside and again try to make. This is a salad container that she used to take to work. I don't think she has in a while. But we'll make decisions jointly on those two things. If she wants them, that's awesome. All of these containers that are, well, this was another great idea, was to make containers that, I bought a whole bunch of containers that I could then put single serving things in. It is actually a great idea, but they've been buried for so long that it is a better idea than using the disposable sandwich bags for that though. I have about 10 of these so I could make up servings of nuts or oatmeal or something like that and not be throwing things out every day, which I would really, really like to do. So I think I will hang on to those to repurpose. This, I'm sure, was I'm sure it's never been used. It's actually a water bottle with a grip. I guess you can run with it easier. Well, now I feel like a liar. That actually wasn't an edit. My camera memory got full, so I have to actually paste those two things together. There's no pause in there, just me fiddling around the camera to make room. Let's later talk about digital minimalism and how you shouldn't hang on to footage that you do not need on your camera in case you want to do a 10-minute video. So the next thing I found was these are little make your own, they're serving size, pre-made serving size things. I think that these lids are for this, but I'm guessing these lids have never been used. So those go on Wifey's decision list. All right, that actually empties out this amazing thing. So these are Ziploc bags. Do with that what you will. Judge if you feel like it. But this is a bad spot for them because they actually take up a fair amount of room right where I need it. So I'm going to find a new home for these that is easier to use. And now is the time to set this back up in a functional way. Again, what I should do is get something that cuts off about here, about halfway back, so that stuff just doesn't push all the way back. This is a solo, there's no other container. Maybe we have one other container that size. I'm just going to toss that one though, recycle it. These are the containers we use the most, and the lids that match them. Just dropping all this stuff all over the floor. The floor is just cleaned, it's okay. If it makes you uncomfortable, that's about you, not me. All right. And these, as I said, I want to try to get a use out of them. And so the larger ones, the ones we use less often, I'm going to place just in a second row. and the lunch things have to be dealt with. But that's it. That is the lot of it, and a whole bunch of stuff out because we do not use it, and it's all the stuff that got buried way at the back. So in about 10 minutes-ish is what that actually took for me to sit down and do the work of decluttering this. I think that this is going to be prone to getting messy, but if there's only a half dozen different size things, then I'm less worried about it all kind of going completely kaflooey in here. So that one's down, and on to the next task on the decluttering list. Visit my blog, ilikehelping.com, Minimalism in a Nerdy World. I put up new posts every Wednesday, and please subscribe. The video thing will appear, let's say here, that the little bubble will appear and you can hit subscribe. Thanks, we'll see you next time. Hi, my name is Keith and I am a minimalist collector. I've been on a minimalist